Let's set the tires and light the fires. The scene is about the relationship, not the plot. With the muffler Ryan Bruckner, I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan. Welcome to Squared. God damn it! Welcome to Squared. It's hot, though. That's why the door's open. It's hot. It's 95 degrees, and it is muggy. It is miserable today. Do you have the air on? No, you don't. Okay, it's quiet. Actually, no, we got the fan circulating.
Fan is on. I have to reconfigure my couch situation for summer. It's still in the winter configuration.
Okay, with the muffler Ryan Bruckner, I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan. We talk about movies featuring professional wrestlers and Ryan's feng shui sensibilities. What do you mean? You're going to change this? Okay, wait. The couch layout right now, as it stands, we are now at press time. April
Winter
22nd.
configuration.
This is considered a winter configuration. I see. It's for practical purposes. It's in relation to the window.
No, it's in relation to the floor heater.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Fine. I was thinking like a summer breeze, but that's even more.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The floor heater is exposed in the winter to get the heat. During the summer,
what I meant was you're going to reconfigure by going closer towards the window.
I'm going to move the couch to the left over the heater to expose the air conditioning unit.
Right.
Which is now covered by the couch.
Some nice open concept right there. But you know what? That's not a load-bearing wall right there. We could take that out. Really generates some more open concept in here. You know what I mean?
In historical neighborhoods, they don't take kindly to open concepts.
Good old-fashioned craftsman house. Don't want no parts of that.
Yeah, they want these columns. And if I were to get rid of these columns, I'd have to get permits. Like, people would harass me. It'd be awful.
Wow.
And
really? What about painting? That's fine, right?
You can paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, but tearing down 100-year-old walls, people get pissed off. But even if it's your own property.
We're not in a preserved stretch. Is Alvarado a stretch of preserved houses by the city of Pomona?
This is a historical neighborhood.
Wow. So you could probably clear it if you really wanted to. First of all, who's doing that? That seems like excessive work for no reason. I like columns and beams and spaces.
No, yeah. I don't want to make this like there's so many trends that happen in home
I don't get open
decor. That's like the trend now. One day people are going to want walls back up.
That makes no sense
to me, This is a classic home. Might as well preserve it as much as we possibly can.
Absolutely, and the way it was intended as it was built. And look at this. You remove that center beam there. What do we have? One room. What are we sitting in right now? 3 rooms. Yeah. Because of these walls, you have an entryway, you have a family room, and you have a dining room. Why would you want to just compromise that and just make one giant ballroom?
I know. I totally agree. What's funny is
they finally fit a wrestling ring in here, though.
We could. What's funny is they have a home tour every fall where like people put their homes on display, and you can just take tours of people that have offered up their homes. One of them this last year was the mayor.
Oh.
Mayor's home got HGTV'd out. And the tour guides even said, like, we're sorry. A lot of things from the historical nature of this home were not preserved back in the 2000s. Wow. Someone flipped this house and HGTV-ified it. And so it's like a big open concept.
Wow. And the whole city of Pomona is fighting back and saying, you can't do that.
Well, it's already been done.
I know, but you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, they're like the Historical Preservation Society is definitely upset about it, and they probably pressure the mayor into making some changes.
How does that work? What is this a society that's blood related to the Preservation Party the generation before? What separates a city like Fullerton, Pomona, where you have these amazing Catholic churches, if you go further southbound on town, and they are well preserved. This city has done an excellent job of preserving and maintaining and just not tearing down old buildings. They renovate, like the Comfort Inn down the street close to the 60. That's now that was a winery, but they preserved the mission style decorum and exterior when it was built.
Yeah, you just get people that move into the neighborhood, join this club. Usually they're pretty old.
Like what's the Fountain
Like, it
Valley
gives something-
Preservation Society like?
I don't know.
You know?
Are there historical buildings in Fountain Valley?
I guess
It seems like everything in Fountain Valley was built in the 60s and the 70s. Everything looks like
the
that
origin
to
of
me.
Fountain Valley. I just feel like that place started in like 85.
I bet you there's a stretch of like 2 streets that are like old homes that they
Yeah.
that the Preservation
okay.
Society consolidated.
And
that
Pomona,
area.
Fullerton, they just got good ones. You know, like I'm sure Huntington Beach, like, this was the first church by that surfer dude that just went, got pitted, So don't touch that, dude. That's where he passed out. That's his vomit right there. Okay.
Yeah.
To the people of Huntington Beach, my uncle's one of them. I apologize. It's actually my favorite city in Orange County.
Really?
Yeah. Aside from Villa Park, of course.
Wow. I don't like Huntington
I love it.
Beach.
Main Street's really fun, and there's boardwalk stuff to do. Newport's less accessible for me.
I feel like Newport's just easier to get to. Just straight up, just the 55 ends. You're in Newport.
Yeah, but Huntington Beach has a marshland. There's a lot of cool marsh.
There's like Newport Dunes. You could go over there.
No, I was just naming surfers that live there. Marsh?
Oh, he's a good guy.
Brad Marsh? Okay.
Oh
Okay,
man,
I'd like to apologize to
WrestleMania.
the people of Huntington Beach for that stupid joke.
I'm still recovering from WrestleMania.
Yeah,
man.
you
It's
and
too
me
damn
both.
long.
I'm in
Too damn
recovery
long.
from WrestleMania.
It ruins lives.
It changes lives.
The length of this show.
It changes lives.
I peaked during the Ronda Rousey match. The crowd in the arena peaked.
WrestleMania alienates friendships.
It does.
It is too long. God
Damn it.
damn it. Get the door. No, I'll stop it. No, I'm not. I'm not going to stop it. Let's see. Who is at... It's probably the Preservation Society. Outside, like, how are those beams? Just checking your beams. We're just checking your interior beams. You got to answer the door. You're not going to be rude, are you? It's 95 degrees outside and muggy. And he's opening the door. Nice job. Oh, that's why you turned her down? I thought you were just like, I don't want to pay anything for anything right now. You handled that really well. That was very polite of you.
Oh, thank you.
But you're on record. I recorded that whole thing.
You did?
That was a test.
Oh, man.
So we got to get... I hope she does come back so we can get her to sign a waiver or something.
I mean, I'm not for kids smoking marijuana, but I'm not signing anything for any sort of restrictions.
Not yet. We're not there yet. Okay? We, as a society in Southern California, are in the infancy stages where it's okay to smoke outside. And so now everyone's smoking outside. And it's like, I can do this now, but that'll subside.
You say that all the time, but I swear to God, I never see people smoking outside.
I see it frequently in LA, and it doesn't bother me at all, but I could see how it would bother some, and I think that's going to go away.
Yeah. Well, that's still not allowed,
I know it's not, but
Yeah.
but it's
same
like,
thing with an open. I mean, I got in trouble for an open container before.
yeah.
Did
But
I say that
I
on the
know it's
podcast
not
before?
allowed, but no, you
Outside of PWG, I got.
Oh.
I was part of a sting operation.
didn't. By the way, before you get too invested in the story, we're gonna miss you. Receipt of venue on Canby. R.I.P. May you host.
I'm looking forward to
Ballrooms.
the big venue.
Oh,
I'm tired of that fucking place. I'm fine to say it. It's hot as shit in there.
yeah. I
I'm
know.
glad there's gonna be somewhere with air conditioning.
Go to hell.
You go there in like
I know it's true.
July or
You're
August.
right. Maybe I'm sentimental.
It's like you probably lose 10 pounds of water weight.
Now they're back to just hosting quinceañeras.
They're selling
It's a union hall.
They're selling it.
Oh, really?
That's why they're moving. Yeah. So it'll probably be some apartments or something. I don't know.
Okay, fine. Forget my toast. All right. Okay, Reseda, Union Hall, American Legion on Canby. Yeah, you deserve to die, and I hope you rot in hell. Cheers. It's been a good
That
run.
was nice. Okay, so one time I went there. I didn't have tickets, so I got in the standby line. And and I knew I was going to have to be there for a long ass time to get these tickets.
Stand by your line.
Yeah. So I went to the CVS to just grab a beer. I grabbed a Sapporo, and I'm like, I'm just going to down this.
Man, that
like,
CVS is kind of far. You got to cross the street and head north.
I'm going to down this right by the dumpster real quick.
Wow.
Just so I could throw it away in there.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
It used to be so cool.
And right when I freaking open the beer and take a sip, a car, it was a van, just pulls in front of me.
Oh.
And 3 plainclothes police officers get out
my God.
and start like yelling at me.
Wow.
They make me sit down on the ground. They like ask me where I'm from. Like they made fun of me for drinking a Sapporo.
What?
They were like, "Oh, do they let you have an open container in Anaheim? Because we don't in Reseda."
That's awesome.
They were just such
God
dicks
bless
to me.
those men.
They were it was 1 woman and 2 men.
God bless
So
them.
mean to me.
They were swear jar fucking with you, and they had a ball doing that, man.
And they
I find that awesome.
they gave me a ticket. I think I had to pay like $200.
Did you think you were going to get arrested?
I didn't know. I was just like, sometimes my policy with cops
Shut down.
is I just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not going to incriminate myself, and I don't feel like I have to say anything.
I have a pretty good policy
them.
with cops. It's always, yes, sir, here you go. I'm going to make these responses quick, but I'm going to do whatever you say.
Well, like I have like an anti-authority streak.
Yeah, I do too. But in the moment, every time I've come across with police face to face, and we're not talking like in line at the Bank of America where you're like, man, look at this line, huh, copper? And they're like, yeah, long line. Not like that. Like being eye to eye, do you know how fast you were going? I was going, officer, look. I was speeding. Yes. I can be honest with myself and to you. All right?
And they still give you a ticket.
I've never gotten out of a ticket.
Yeah.
Never. Not once.
How do you even do that? You got to get one of
I
those
hear girls
firemen.
doing it all the time.
You got to get one of those firefighter stickers on your car.
Maybe I'm just not good at it. I'm just like, sorry, sir.
So here's
my
the thing.
voice starts shaking usually.
They give me my fine, and then they're like, you could finish your beer.
Wow.
Like, fuck you.
No, that's beautiful.
So now I can drink this beer in public after you fine me. Like, shouldn't be the point be like confiscating? I would have been happier if they confiscated my beer.
They were.
Because they're just fucking
with you, man.
They're fucking with me, collecting revenue for their shitty ass Valley City.
Wow. That's a beautiful story, man.
Ugh.
So that ruined your night.
No, I got over it.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's quick.
I mean,
That's
I had
good recovery time.
I was
man.
in line for another 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
So I had time to
yeah,
get
by
over
then.
it.
But if the show would have started right then, you'd just be like, I just want to go home. This sucks.
Yeah.
So, but how was that beer? I bet that was the best Sapporo you've ever had afterwards.
It was
You're like,
the worst Sapporo I ever had. I was mad.
Suckers.
Yeah.
Suckers. Like, because what else would you say after that? There's nothing cool you could say while you're drinking your now warm Sapporo that they all probably took swigs of. You know?
No, they didn't take swigs of it. They like made me put it on the ground next to me.
Well, God bless the Reseda PD, LAPD. That's awesome.
Here's something funny.
I mean,
I
that's
noticed this driving on the 10. They have a big like electronic billboard over by the Pomona Valley Mining Company.
Ah, yes. So you're going eastbound on the 10 freeway, and you are peering to your left-hand side.
Yes. I saw some half-naked males on it recently.
Oh.
I'm like, is there going to be wrestling around here? And it's actually tonight. I looked it up.
What?
Rival Pro Wrestling presents High Stakes at the Finish Line
Oh,
in
man.
Pomona, California.
Wait, what was it, like Lucha Libre?
It's just an indie show.
Oh. Well, I want to go, but I got to meet with my scene partner later today.
The main event is Jew Diz and Rocket Boy Wilson versus the Felines versus the Stoner Brothers.
That
And
could be
then-
really fun. That could be really stupid.
There's also Dirty Ron McDonald versus Human Tornado.
Wow.
Also scheduled to appear, Doomfly, Aerial Instinct, A.K. Rambe, Adrian Quest, Andy Brown, Douglas James, Ruby Reyes, Tito Escondido,
I wonder.
my personal favorite,
Tito Escondido.
and Willie Mack. Willie
Hey,
Mack's the
Willie Mack!
Yeah,
Love
he's
Willie
the
Mack.
only one I've heard of out of all these people.
I wonder if it's more like Hood Slam. You know, I wonder if it's legitimate wrestling or if they're just making a mockery of it.
I mean, I don't.
Not
I
that
have
Hood,
no
Hood
idea.
Slam does, and I've never gone, and I've always wanted to
I don't
go.
think it's like Hood Slam. Just looking at the pictures, it
Or
just
what's that
looks
other
like
Lucha Vavoom? That looks like a fun show, though. But that's
they
not
they
your
have like
traditional.
a big Cinco de Mayo
Oh,
extravaganza.
cool. That's brilliant. That's just.
I'd like to go to
another
that.
evolution of professional wrestling.
That's
how
like
to portray it.
that's a place you should take a date sometime.
Oh, that'd be cool. It's a good idea.
Because it's like it's wrestling, but it's also kind of classy, and there's comedy, and there's also dancing, and
You know, it's got everything. There's
stuff.
music.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, I know you love the Latino women.
I sure do. Chichor, chichor.
Oh my God.
Chichor, chichor.
Yeah. So it's tonight. I probably won't go, but I just thought it was interesting.
I wish I was going, but I can't. That's a bummer. When did you hear about it? Just this week?
Just I saw it driving by like last week, and then I looked it up.
Wow. Okay, well, maybe it'll be a regular thing. That would be
Yeah.
cool. Is it in downtown?
It's at the finish line, which is like kind of right, where on the fairgrounds where the Wine Fest is.
Yeah.
I think that's where like we got picked up by our Uber.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's like the off-track betting.
Yeah, what are we
restaurant.
saying, man? You live right next to the LA County Fairgrounds. Of course there's going to be plenty of wrestling around here at all times. It's not like this is the last. Well, we'll never see
Well,
wrestling again in Pomona.
I haven't seen it
That's
really. Oh, okay. And here's another interesting thing. As you know, I love trivia, and I did not attend trivia 2 weeks ago. I go to trivia at Old Stump Brewery on Monday nights, but now I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm going every other week, so I can avoid drinking beer as much. I'm actually down 16 pounds in
Whoa.
in 1 month. How about
I was
that?
holding off on giving you a compliment.
But
And
unfortunately,
you look incredible.
since it was a
That
Monday,
is considerable. Now you weren't like super, but you're toning at all because you weren't like overweight. At all.
I'm not lifting weights or anything, but I am doing a lot of yoga. I even did a Pilates reformers class.
See,
I was the only guy there.
and you trimmed the beard a little bit. It's tighter.
Yeah,
you look
I
good.
got a new beard trimmer. Came in the mail today. So unfortunately, I did not attend the Monday after WrestleMania, and I missed a category specifically dedicated to me and Squared Circle Cinema.
No.
But he did give me all the questions.
Oh,
I went through it. I got stumped on a few things.
I don't even want to know, man. After my last performance, I'm never going to partake in a trivia contest with you.
I did get stumped by some stuff.
right.
Let's see
Okay,
if
give
you
me
can
one.
do better. It's only 6 questions. Let me just run through.
Shoot. Okay.
It's fun. It's fun. It's funny. We begin the round on wrestlers turned actors with the biggest of them all, and that is, of course, Andre the Giant. Having gotten his acting start in an episode of The $6 Million Man, Andre the Giant is best remembered for his deadpan recital of poetry as the character of Physic. For one point in which 1987 classical film does Andre the Giant steal the show as a beloved Physic.
Yeah, these are fun. Princess Bride. See, these are fun.
Okay, you got 1 point.
Okay.
Question 2.
Question 2.
Aside from a sex tape, the only good thing Hulk Hogan has done on camera is play the character of Thunderlips, a fictional wrestler in Rocky III. At this point in Rocky's career, he feels irrelevant and has to perform in exhibition matches against pro wrestlers. This is all because he's no longer a hungry fighter and has to learn to get hungry in the ring again, especially against a young, hungry, tough, up-and-coming boxer who is out to take his title, played by Mr. T, who was the main opponent of Rocky Balboa in Rocky III.
Clubber Lang. Cool.
There you go.
Okay, these are fun.
2 points.
Ding!
They get progressively harder.
Just go, go, go! Come on!
Probably my favorite role of a wrestler turned actor is that of Macho Man Randy Savage in 2002's Spider-Man. Having a small but crucial role in the film, Randy Savage plays a cage fighter that recently empowered and pre-great responsibility.
I know the scene.
Peter Parker tries to avoid by climbing to the top of the cage and hoping to run out the clock before shooting a web and defeating Randy Savage's character. For 1 point, what was the name of the one-dimensional cage fighter played by Macho Man Randy Savage in 2002 Spider-Man?
I knew that was going to be the question. I have no idea.
Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw? Yeah, all right.
So you got 2 points.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, before ascending to the office of Governor of California, had a very successful acting career. Jesse the Body Ventura, before ascending to the office of Governor of Minnesota, had a less than successful acting career.
Predator.
In some weird way, the two men have acted in 3 films together.
Oh, no.
All featuring Arnold in the starring role. For a point apiece, what were those 3 films starring Arnold Schwarzenegger that had a decreasing amount of lines and visibility of Jesse the Body Ventura?
All right, well,
so you got Predator. You got 1 point.
Running Man.
2.
Okay.
And I didn't get the 3rd one.
Really?
Let's see if you can get it.
Jingle All the Way.
That's what I said.
You did? I thought maybe
I was wrong.
Really?
It's Batman and Robin.
Oh. Huh.
And I think
has a
I remember
very
he
small
was like a
role in
henchman in it or something. I believe.
Oh.
Okay, number 5. Take almost any of these wrestlers' acting careers, and they all seem to be striving to be the next Arnold Schwarzenegger. The one that comes closest to that would be The Rock. Since 2001, when The Rock made his film debut as the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns, Dwayne Johnson has put out a movie at least once a year. While he may not actually be at the same level of Arnold, there was a weird moment in a film in 2006 in which Arnold Schwarzenegger walks by The Rock and says, "Have fun," and then walks away. For 2 big points, what was the 2006 film starring The Rock and featuring Arnold in an uncredited role?
It's got to be one of the first Fast and the Furious he was in, or is that too soon?
2006.
2006.
So this was quite a while ago.
Yeah, which is weird because it doesn't feel like a long time ago, but it's 12 years ago.
The 2000s just seem like yesterday.
The Tooth Fairy?
Incorrect. The Rundown.
Oh.
I got that one wrong, too.
Never saw that one.
I saw it
Heard
when
good
it came
things,
out.
Yeah. Never.
Yeah. And finally, we end this round on wrestlers becoming actors with an actress. Rest in peace, Joni Lauer, a.k.a. Chyna. In between her appearances on VH1's The Surreal Life and her She-Hulk / Avengers parody porns, she acted in a few unheard of and unwatched movies. Among them was 2007's Illegal Aliens, in which Chyna plays an intergalactic terrorist who wants to destroy Earth. Guided by the help of a holographic mentor, she is stopped by Lucy, another alien that has taken the form of a beautiful blonde American woman. For 2 big points, in her final acting role, which former model, actress, and television personality played the role of Lucy alongside Chyna in 2007's Illegal Aliens?
Model, actress,
and TV personality.
TV personality. What year?
This was 2007.
Snooki.
Incorrect. Model.
Jenny McCarthy.
Actress. Well, this person's dead, too.
Oh, I missed that part. Oh, yeah. Charlie's Angels, Farrah Fawcett.
That's exactly what I said.
Oh, really?
And I was wrong.
Ah!
Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I said Farrah Fawcett, and then I was like, wait, I think Farrah Fawcett has more class than this. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Nicole,
so, we actually did about the same. You got the ones wrong that I got wrong, but you did not get Bonesaw, and I got Bonesaw.
Okay, wait, so you got
so
4
I got
of
1
6.
point more
I got
than
3
you.
of 3. All right. So total combined score, I am now down 7-24.
You're at like a 3/4 redemption.
I'm
now
at an 8.
instead of a half
I'm
redemption.
at an 8. You're at 19, right? That's how we left off. I ain't never coming back from that, man.
Yeah. Well,
Hand me the spade and bury me in your lush garden. Speaking of that, I noticed some flower growth up in your front.
yeah, poppy season, man.
Poppy season, man. They're sprouting everywhere. Are you just
Yeah.
letting them grow?
Well, they're a wild
Looks nice.
California native plant. When I first moved in, I planted like 8 poppies. They bloomed
Wow.
for like 2 weeks, and then they disintegrated and died.
That is.
And then every year
now.
they just, I guess like when they die, because they really just like disintegrate. They turn brown, and they just like, the branches just like
It's a cursed
become
flower.
brittle. Yeah. But it must spread the seeds everywhere, because now I have like a whole poppy field in my front yard. So maybe like last month it looked like, oh, he needs to start pulling some weeds. He's letting this
Jeez.
place go. Now it's like, what a beautiful
Absolutely.
wildflower field.
Okay, so let it go as it is now. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then what do you think? In May, middle of May, it'll just be.
It'll probably be around June. Once it like starts to get really hot and the sun starts to get oppressive, then they'll just start disintegrating again, and then spring they'll come back.
Before being a before being a homeowner, did you have any idea what time of your poppy season was?
I did not. But when I moved in here, I wanted to have a California native drought tolerant garden.
Well, let me move in to your butthole. No, I didn't want to say that.
You want to move into my
I was
butthole?
going to segue into let me move it. Why did I say that? Let me move into film number.
Paging Dr. Freud.
I was like, ooh, Mike, that's a good segue right there. Don't you? Is that a Robin Williams joke?
It's definitely from some movie I've seen.
All right, let's move. Let's bowel move into film number 45 of 5,730. Great segue, Mike. Way to go. Andre the Giant documentary on HBO Go. It's just called Andre the Giant, starring Nick Bockwinkel.
Nick Bockwinkel? Is he in it?
Yeah, he's in it. He's in a battle royal with him in like Mid-Atlantic, I think. In the 70s,
I thought you were
mid-70s.
going to come with like a big ass list, and all we're getting is Nick Bockwinkel.
Oh, yeah, no, that's it. You give us the rest of the list. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Vince McMahon.
Tim White.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler. The Iron Sheik. Big John Studd.
I hope we go through this whole list with forgetting Andre the Giant. Like,
Andre the
that's
Giant.
That movie, that's a doc with Big John Studd, right? WrestleMania 1. Great match, by the way. That's my highlight of WrestleMania 1 is the
Dave
the
Meltzer.
body slam. Dave Meltzer, man, what a sharp guy.
Gene Okerlund.
That other historian guy with like herpes on his cheek.
Yeah, David Shoemaker.
Yeah.
The Masked Man.
Not the best day for him to be filmed. Like it was like, oh no, the day my friggin' zits are breaking out.
And he decided to wear that oversized sports jacket.
Yeah, what he should have done is taken a page from Kerry Ullis. I can never pronounce his last
Elwes?
name. Elwes. I never pronounce his last name correctly. And just wear his cake makeup on your face. He looked like a ghost.
Yeah.
That was like he should have just borrowed some of Kerry's makeup there.
Yeah, I used
Elwes,
to really
Elwes.
like that guy's columns, David Shoemaker, but he kind of doesn't do them as much anymore.
No, he seems
And
like a pretty knowledgeable guy. I mean, I'm
He,
not saying he's not a.
yeah, he used to write really
legitimate
good pieces on
historian.
wrestling, but now that Bill Simmons started The Ringer, he became like the chief creative officer. So he does like the look of everything and
That's
all the
cool.
graphics.
What a great
So I think
gig.
he has less time to do wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
And I
Or just
even
doesn't
stopped
want
listening
to.
to his podcast because it seems like he doesn't have as much passion anymore. It's just kind of boring.
He doesn't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
That's sad. So he didn't write a blog a week for the love of wrestling. Of course he didn't. That sucks. Writing sucks. It's hard. No one likes to sit down and write. No one goes, what a wonderful sensation. It's work.
Yeah, there are people that like it.
Why would you do work when you don't have to do work?
Well, that was he got paid to do it.
I know, but then he evolved into a different,
A new role.
an easier, creative, more cush. I don't know. Look, I don't know the guy personally.
I kind of wanted to talk about just Andre the Giant in general. I was really thinking about like how I was exposed to him, and I want to hear how you were exposed to him. So right about the time I started watching wrestling was like 90, 91.
Yeah.
So the first wrestling I watched was a VHS tape of WrestleMania 6.
Okay.
So the first time I ever saw Andre the Giant
With the Colossal
was,
Connection.
in the Colossal Connection, where he didn't even tag in.
So you
So I was
always
like-
loved him because he turns face at the end of that.
Well, I was more like, what's so good about this guy? He could barely move.
Right.
I never was like in awe of him.
And then you see him in France in the mid 60s, and he's this felt lumberjack.
Before he was drinking 150 beers
Yeah.
a night.
He was incredibly slender. I had never seen
Yeah.
images of him that slender. And that was into his 20s, his mid 20s.
Before he started living this oppressive wrestling lifestyle.
I mean, you call them carnies. That's exactly what it is. The travel. Poor guy when he goes to hotel rooms and he can't even fit on the bed.
Yeah.
God.
But so then,
Speaking of hotels, sorry, what kind of friggin' lame ass Comfort Inn did they interview Hulk Hogan in? That was
yeah.
if I walked into that hotel, I'd be like, this is kinda
wearing his
dingy.
Hogan's Beach t-shirt.
No, literally, like they had those thick Best Western curtains that are drawn
Yeah.
right over the AC unit. The
Maybe
thing was humming.
Maybe it was right next to Hogan's Beach restaurant. It was like the hotel next to it.
Yeah. Well, they had to pay for it.
It's like, why can't they just go to his house? That was one of my favorite parts of the documentary, is you got to see inside people's houses.
Tim White has the coolest house with that pool table.
I was like, damn, Gene Okerlund is balling.
Yeah.
Did you see his house?
Yeah. Of course, Vince McMahon. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, wow. He used to get a percentage of the WCW hotline money.
Yeah.
So he would always plug his hotline.
house is incredible. I
That's
never
the
really
the
made
the
that
hotline
connection.
probably built that house, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, Vince McMahon was in a studio.
Yeah.
That would be. Why doesn't he let? Come on.
Well,
They used to film vignettes in
yeah,
his
they
house.
would
So
film
he doesn't even
vignettes
do
all the
an
time.
interview?
Yeah. I need
I
that's
need to
what
take a tour of Vince McMahon's house.
That's what I
I
realized.
need him to be there, and I need him to call me friend and compadre.
He'll call you pal,
Colleague.
I'm sure.
Yeah, pal. And he'll also say, wait, there's something he says all the time. Let's see. And things of that nature. He says and things of that nature a lot.
It seems like that Arnold Schwarzenegger
Sorry.
says that too. Fantastic and things of that nature.
Again, I just want to thank Laps Fan for showing me how to develop my inner Vince McMahon, which is completely ripping off Laps Fan.
But it's you don't realize it until you hear it. It's the best Vince
Oh, yeah,
in the
no
business. But getting back to my exposure to Andre, so then I start watching like Superstars every week, and Hogan is feuding with Earthquake.
Yeah.
And to me, Earthquake was a big, scary guy.
Yes.
And he is like the type of monster heel that I know, love, and respect.
Right.
I never got that Andre, like that reverence for him. I even went back and like would rent WrestleMania 3 so I could watch it. And I was like, compared to like Hogan versus Earthquake at SummerSlam 1990, this match kind of sucks.
Yeah. We missed the boat there. And I think that line in the documentary might be for a generation slightly ahead of us, because I'm in the same boat. There's a line that says, we all remember when we were introduced to Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. Because he was, I don't know if it was the first time I stumbled across WrestleMania 3 at the warehouse, but I rented it a lot in say 1990, 91, before 92, definitely. And he was on the cover, and it was a match that was, I was just watching it for, wow, the spectacle was all the people, wasn't necessarily the stakes.
Yeah.
I just thought, body slamming a monster like that is a hell of a feat. But I didn't understand the weight of it and how important it was of a passing of the torch and all that. It was just like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And I
never
remember
really
it
struck me.
because of Hulk Hogan more. Hulk Hogan caught my eye. But we saw him on his decline. He had already had a conversation with Vince McMahon saying, like, not only am I going to retire, I'm going to kill myself. You know?
Before you kill yourself.
And that was before WrestleMania 3.
I need to squeeze a few more dollars out of your fat ass.
Yeah, and a few more dollars. My God, he held him through 91.
Yeah.
When he's like hanging with his wheel on his stretcher. And
do you remember when he was accompanying the Bushwhackers?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And
He's
then-
on crutches.
Yeah.
They even got him to like do a wave on his crutches. He was like just the Bushwhackers manager.
And remember the natural disasters, like elbowed his knee and were like they just destroyed him.
And
That,
then you
I remember
see
that,
him-
and he was just like screaming like,
Yeah.
That was a good
Because
sell
he
job.
could barely stand. That's all he could do is sell.
He probably was really in pain.
Ow! Ow!
I want to die.
I can't do it.
What about his sausage fingers, man? His fingers are way thicker than my penis.
Seeing the yeah, I can honestly say they're thicker than your penis. I've had both up in my. All right. Okay. Why did I say that?
Paging Dr. Freud.
Okay. I've seen that image 1,000 times where he's holding that Molson beer. And
Yeah.
like, is that really a 12-ounce beer? I bet it's an 8-ounce beer. And then you see it next to someone else's hand. You see Gene Okerlund putting 3 of his fingers in one of his ring.
Yeah.
And gosh, it's that comparison. And when you compare him to Big John Studd, he's dwarfing him, and he's like 6'4", 6'5",
big dude.
6'8", 300
could-
plus,
I mean,
almost 400 pounds,
could-
maybe.
Step over the top rope,
But when
so
you
that's
see
an indication that you're definitely over 6'5".
Do you think he stepped over the top rope literally to spite Andre the Giant, or was it just something he always did, and Andre's like, get on there. Okay. You don't do that while I'm here, all right?
Honestly,
I'm the Giant.
That just kind of proves that Andre's kind of a dick, if you ask me. Like, who cares if other people are stepping over the top rope?
Imagine if you walk around life always stubbing your toe. Like you always get that feeling of that first rage of pain when you stub your toe. You'd be a little ornery too, man.
I guess
you'd be
so.
in front in line at the gas.
You'd be mad that somebody stepped over the top rope.
Yeah. You'd be freaking at Ralph's when the lady's, struggling with her change. You'd be like, move it, lady. God. Credit card. Your change purse.
Just let her go about her business.
Well, that's not me.
She's a person too.
No, but I'm just
Andre.
saying. I think it's justified for him to just completely kick out people in the locker room that aren't wrestlers.
If Andre, there's a whole part where they're like, Andre had feelings. He would cry. He would tell me that they hurt my feelings.
Right.
Maybe you've hurt other people's feelings, Andre.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have been nicer to all of the other boys.
Yeah.
We don't have to bow to you in reverence because you're the Giant.
And why?
And I feel the same way about the Undertaker. Like, now Undertaker is like the judge in wrestler's court, and you have to please him, and you have to give him tribute of a bottle of whiskey.
Wow.
I just hate this macho.
Isn't Taker sober
club.
living? Look, man, I am surprised that that's what you took away from this, because I was just so blown away by, and that's an HBO production for you. The music as it swelled in the end, and it was so powerful. I just thought I couldn't think of one negative thing to say about Andre the Giant.
Oh.
It painted a very beautiful picture of him. But you're right. And how come we don't get any footage? Bad father, and he left his estate to her. But you're right. But how do you be a good father in that business?
You could still see your kids.
Well, sure.
How many times did he go to L.A. in a year?
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't know that. Maybe he did.
During his times off, he could have flown her out to North Carolina.
Okay, ease up on Andre the Giant, man. Okay, this is supposed to be a tribute, all right?
I don't need to tribute. I've already told you that I never had feelings of reverence.
Yeah, me neither, I guess. I do always, of course, respect him. And what if we were watching in the 70s when he's in the territories? He did some incredible stuff then.
Yeah, and I don't think they showed enough of that. I've seen so much footage of him doing drop kicks.
It was a lot of footage of him walking to the ring.
Yeah.
They showed it was a montage. This entire documentary was a montage of him walking to the ring.
My favorite is when he's wearing that like fringe 70s vest
Yeah.
to the ring.
How about it's bookend with him in front of an empty arena, you know?
Yeah.
Coming up on 92. Surreal.
Yeah.
But, you know, this documentary didn't offer anything like that. I mean, I'm sure there is some footage of him getting belligerently wasted. You know,
There's
it's not
gotta
like we see his face red and he's sweating, but come on. He's drinking that much. You can't just keep your cool. You're going to make a scene, and he's huge. We hear stories of him passing out, and Pat Patterson's like, well, you better call AAA. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
We hear stories, but like, what about footage where he's belligerently yelling at everybody, you know, and he's a gentle giant, so that's when you're drunk, you know, that's when your true evil character comes out.
He's doing The Princess Bride, like a classic Hollywood movie. Dude's drinking 20 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
I mean, how unprofessional is
Very
that?
unprofessional. And he couldn't even catch her. Like his one job was to like catch Robin Wright, and like he couldn't do it. So they had
I'm in pain.
He was great in that movie. God, I can't believe us.
I feel like another thing that's kind of exaggerated in this movie is like his ability to shoot in the ring and control people. They show the footage of him, like he hated Iron Sheik, and they show him.
Hogan doing all these awesome impressions.
Yeah.
He had good impressions of like the Iron Sheik
But
and Macho Man.
it didn't look like a beat down to me. It looked like the same old moves that Andre does. He does a slam.
Now maybe they didn't find the
does
right
a
footage.
He steps on people.
Yeah, they
he
should have
does
shown
his like lame ass suplex.
They should have shown him with Ultimate Warrior because he was beating the shit out of
I'm
Ultimate
like, why
Warrior.
didn't they show Warrior?
Yeah, those were legitimate punches, and he would kick out at one and just whip him around the ring like a rag doll.
And like he was mean to Randy Savage. I mean, Randy Savage is a artist in that ring.
Yeah,
Andre the Giant is not an artist, and you're gonna like be mean to him and take liberties with him in the ring.
That makes me want to go back and listen to interviews of Macho Man in reflection.
Yeah,
regarding his true his opinion of him and his relationship with him, his real relationship from his perspective.
We don't have enough shoot interview footage of
Macho Man. There's that one where he's wearing the tight black shirt outside, and he's just shooting on Hogan the whole time.
Yeah. When he started rapping and stuff. But I feel like I don't really believe that Andre could have his way with anybody that he wanted to in the ring. Like I feel like there is a lot of like Japanese shooters that actually know how to fight, that actually know catch wrestling, that could probably take his lumbering ass down and
but that's when he wouldn't
put him to sleep.
Coming.
I mean, do you think Hoist Gracie versus Andre the Giant, who wins?
Dan Severn. No, okay, but that's part of the mystique. You can't see. He can have his way because the Giant that's allowed for him in that context. But if a smaller wrestler goes up and does something that compromises the business, by taking him out, and now our star is now a cripple because you made him look like a fool. Yeah. You can't do that. You get fired.
That's true.
He's allowed to do whatever he wants because the Giant can't think properly. He's impulsive, and he just beats and pounds on whatever's in his way.
The way they frame it, though, it's like, if he didn't want to do something, you weren't going to make him because he was that strong and that tough. But it's like, no. It's because everybody knows that if I actually fight back against him, I'm never going to work again.
God, I thought you'd be more open to this now that you're reading your beautiful child these bedtime stories. This is the marks of a legend. They're trying to build a legend. They even literally say that in the documentary. They're portraying this man as he's larger than life.
Yeah, he's a folk hero.
And the legend. And right now we're in the infancy because we lived when he lived. We know the truth, right? But he's going to become 12 feet tall and.
Well, I'm not going to just sit here.
I won't allow it.
Lick
I'm not
his
going to have
balls like everybody has always done throughout the history of wrestling.
How come there's no one
somebody say something bad about him?
Did anyone ever say growing up with him, Babe Ruth, he's not that good. Yeah, I went to some of his games. He wasn't pointing to outfield. He's pointing to the dugout. All right.
There's like a
He ain't calling no shot.
There's a lot of they say that's a legend where like people are like, did he actually call the shot? There's a lot of
there's a
debate
video.
about
There's
that.
one lousy video that's not really incriminating. Like, because it could have been not that night. They found one video of him pointing to the dugout and it kind of like, don't worry, I'm gonna get it next time. Just watch, and then he hits a home run.
But
so he's like taunting the bat boy or something.
I wouldn't say bad things about Babe Ruth.
Hell no.
I mean, it's clear that he was very talented and ahead of the game as far as everybody else, but I don't feel... I mean, Andre was an attraction more than a wrestler.
I'm saying people that grew up with Babe Ruth. People went to games that Babe Ruth was in, and he went 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. Like, it happened. You know what I mean? As in, we were, seeking out wrestling videos, and we got WrestleMania 3, we got WrestleMania 4, and yeah, he was this giant we recognized, but Hulk Hogan's his opponent.
Yeah.
I
was all about the Hulkster.
And his angle leading up to WrestleMania 3, some of the best work in WWF history.
Definitely. The Piper's Pit.
Some of the best writing in WWF history.
A lot of it is Hogan.
And it's Hogan. I
Hogan,
witnessed all that and appreciate it in retrospect.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I didn't understand how grand and how important and how amazing that was and historical it will be. Yeah. It's history in the making. And I didn't appreciate that. Of course, I was too young as it happened, but...
I also feel like, they celebrate his drinking, but I feel like in a lot of ways, nobody talks about or brings up like how that probably contributed to his early death too. I mean, if he's drinking that much all the time.
Well, Carrie Ellis was like, he
was drinking it to mask his pain. Yeah. But like, what if back in the 70s, he just had, 6 beers or 12.
They weren't. I thought they'd glorify it more,
you know?
the drinking, because when you hear the legend, it's always like in a fun story. Like, and then he drank 6 bottles of cognac.
But they're like, oh, he refused this operation, and that's why he died. But it's like, yeah, and he was also drinking 7,000 calories of alcohol a day.
No, that he. I mean, I'm not saying he'd still be alive today, but he would have no doubt lived another 15 years, I would say.
Definitely.
He probably would have lived, yeah.
And he was like refusing surgery just to preserve his gimmick too, which is kind of sad.
Well, he couldn't make rational decisions because he was always drunk.
That's true.
It's like
his closest advisor was fucking Tim
White.
White
Because did you see how red his face was?
Yeah.
He continued the dream. That was a touching moment when he's crying. Like, there's no crying in wrestling. I wish it could have been there.
There's crying in wrestling.
There's a lot of.
Have you met Ric Flair?
Ric Flair cried when they just approached him for an interview. Oh, that's very flattering. There's plenty of crying in wrestling.
What'd you think of the fart segment?
Yeah, I know. That's another about the drinking part. It's like, oh, he would drink so much, and then he would just fart and rumble, rumble, rumble.
I like that part.
It was pretty funny.
There should have been more stuff.
Gene Okerlund's like, oh.
Funny, lighthearted stuff like that.
More segments with him.
I wish they would have gone more into his sex life. They completely
avoid that, and Hulk Hogan had the opportunity to explore that as well, because he even mentioned like he had a daughter. I don't really know much about his sex life or anything personal like that, but and they could have kind of delved into that a little.
You're
bit.
telling me Tim White doesn't know about his sex life? Tim White was always with him.
Oh,
come on!
Gosh. I love that.
Let me hear some from Tim White.
I love that Tim White is the conduit, to the legend. He has to be preserved by the city of Pomona.
He was Andre's bitch.
Yeah. And he was like, you'd have to completely leave your former life, travel with me, say goodbye to your wife, say goodbye to your kids. He probably didn't have kids. There's no way he had kids. And let's have fun. He's like,
okay, boss. For me, the ultimate highlight of this film is Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he is. First, though, for me, Vince McMahon is incredible. God, he is so good at interviews, and I wish I could cry
so
like
compelled
him.
by anything he has to
that
say.
Comes out of his mouth.
Like, I want more.
He's so good at it.
I mean, and
he didn't even have to rehearse that,
From the Steve Austin podcast that they did a couple years ago on the network to his interviews with Bob Costas to the XFL documentary. To this, I just want candid Vince. I want to take a walk inside that brain and stay a few hours.
He's doing the ear tug. I wish I could cry that stoic because he's not afraid.
he was a special
But, like,
person.
when I cry, my face just explodes, and I can't get a word out. I'm just like, and he's just keeping it cool. Well, his mom made him that chair. Oh, God. That was a sweet moment. His mom made him a huge ass chair. Literally a huge ass chair.
The greatest part about it was when he was like, I have a facility to get rid of negatives very quickly.
I know.
If something hurts me, I get rid of it.
And he probably would not have disclosed that information publicly before.
Yeah.
You know, he's in this refractory phase where he's reflecting and he's,
But it's like, does he
Pull it
really? In a way, he seems like somebody that's always been so hell bent on revenge. Like
No, but that's not.
You know, I don't think he squashes down every negative.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
what a crock of shit.
he always needs to get comeuppance. He's
Yeah.
like, no matter how you wronged me, you'll be back.
Look at Ted DiBiase. You're. Wait, no, they did na 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 na. You're gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Laugh at him.
I'll let you come
Laugh
back.
at Ted DiBiase,
Brett.
one of the greatest legends of all time.
Bret Hart, you can come back, but you're gonna look horrible in that ring.
Oh my God.
You're gonna wear jean shorts, and everyone's gonna laugh at you.
And he really did. And the
Because
reason
you're my bitch. I killed your brother, and you still came back.
he did that intentionally, right? Because it was Vince McMahon's worst performance too. So he just wanted to make Brett look like an idiot.
You think you're the
was an
excellence
awful-
of execution? Look at you now.
Oh, he's beating me! No! Ow! What a dumb match.
It's so yeah. I mean, every WCW wrestler, he bought WCW just so he could get revenge on anybody associated with Goldberg. You can come in. I'm gonna make you look like shit. I'm gonna make you wear a wig.
All right, here's the
I'm
thing.
gonna make you hate wrestling.
I think there's a level there, and I think Andre the Giant surpassed, hopped over that level. This wasn't a professional relationship.
Yeah,
I
this
think he
was
had a
family.
strong personal relationship, and that I can see him not
Yeah.
holding on to. That I can see him saying, "This is too painful. I'm setting you aside. I cannot believe I was betrayed by him." You know, if Shawn Michaels did that, I think he'd have the same reaction.
Yeah, or like Pat Patterson.
Yeah, you know, because this was family. This wasn't Bret Hart or Steve Austin. I think Steve Austin's kind of become family though, which is kind of cool.
I think him and Steve Austin have a love-hate relationship.
Steve Austin's always pretty complimentary on his podcast, though, I think.
But, you know, he does, like, why don't they do the Steve Austin podcast on the network anymore?
It's
you know,
true.
I feel like they're always, like, coming together, and then they're at odds, and they're coming together, and they're at odds. Like, they have a roller coaster, like, relationship.
Oh, that's interesting.
Where, like, Shawn Michaels has been steady throughout.
Very true.
Like, even when he hurt his back, they would bring him in for commissioner jobs,
Right.
for referee stuff.
So he would,
you know?
yeah. So with Shawn Michaels, that would be legitimate betrayal, and he would have a reaction like that. And I could see him handling it like that.
How could you do this to me?
You know,
after I sucked your dick after all those years.
Okay, Vince was my favorite part, but I also really liked Hogan and Vince breaking down the match on a yellow notepad, on a legal pad.
Do you buy the whole thing about the finish?
I want to, and because I want to so much, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really like, okay, you thought he was going to kick out? Like, what then?
I know.
What then?
Look.
He can't even walk.
I don't. It's all part of the legend, probably. I think, and maybe
Yeah.
I'm buying into it. But the whole thing, like, oh, he wouldn't tell me the finish the day of, and everyone's like, oh, he wouldn't tell Hogan the day of the finish. There isn't one, counter example. Like, no, they went over the finish. They're like, all right, cut. I think it's phony. It's a little phony.
But
I bet he knew the finish.
He knows
They're both professionals. This is WrestleMania 3 in front of 93,000 people.
Yeah.
They're not going to make a scene.
He never did it before. Why do it now?
Yeah, so
know?
you're right.
Yeah,
I thought you
Andre
meant,
always did business.
I thought you meant literally as he's calling it in the ring. It's like, oh, it's happening now, brother.
But
Now,
like,
brother.
he was like, I didn't know if he was going to kick out or not.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Yeah,
It's like he's
no,
not
but
gonna-
that was the sequence.
Nobody's
Body
kicking
slam,
out of the
leg drop,
man.
finish. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and he wanted, like, he was probably so tired and in pain that he was like, oh, thank God he finally did the leg drop.
Burn.
It's over.
What?
Slam!
Did you say
Leg
Simsies?
drop.
It's actually barred
Pain.
California.
My back!
Girls!
Wine!
Yeah, he was just calling.
Need wine!
He was just calling to the medic.
uh, but it was good.
Yeah, great. Well, of course it's good.
I'm giving it an 8.7.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna give it an 8.8. I'd
All
say it was great. Have you ever seen HBO production on the documentary series side and be like, they're always real. Like,
Yeah, they're always good.
they're always
I
at
just
least
saw
worth watching.
The
as
2-part
far as
Elvis
the production
one.
value and the
It's
music.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. You should watch that one.
How come though? They didn't fork up the dough to find a second picture of Vincent K. McMahon. It's always that one black and white picture. Is that the only photo that man has taken?
Maybe that's the only one that Vince Jr. will allow.
I don't know, but there's nothing like interpersonal about any of his pictures. If anything, maybe he's shaking a hand with someone.
I know. So there's not much fun facts for this, but I did listen to the Bill Simmons podcast breaking down like their experience making it.
Oh.
So I got a few fun facts out of that.
Okay.
So they're like the director said it was like a big ordeal to get the okay from Vince. Like that was like their biggest like trial because like Vince like really wanted approval of the director and he wanted them to tell the story right.
Wow.
And so the director goes in there and he's pitching himself as like somebody that's not so much of a fan that it would like cloud his perspective, that he's like, I was a fan during the glory days. And then Vince is like, the glory days, huh?
Wow.
And so he thought the documentary was off at that point. And Bill Simmons had even warned him, like, Vince is going to test you.
He's referring to his dad.
Yeah.
Okay. Easy.
Well, Vince's perspective is like, it's always the glory days.
Oh, yeah.
WWE is always great.
Oh, so
how dare you think
Oh,
that
so in reference to
this was
Glory's
the
days,
glory
as
days.
far as under his helm. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and he's like, he took it back and like,
wow.
Vince, like forgave him.
That
Another
sucks
thing,
because that's something that could easily be done because it's a figure of speech, and I'm sure he didn't mean it to be offensive.
Yeah, but Vince is always looking for something to take you down over. Another thing was there was a story that they took out of it. They talked a lot about like how much they had to take out and like how difficult it is and how married you are to certain things, but
The tone was
you just have to take it out for like the sake of brevity. They were talking about him staying in Japan and he was too big to shit in the toilets, so he would have to shit in like the hotel blanket and wrap it up.
What?
And then
wait. This is kind of like
staff-
me, myself, and Irene only poop instead of pee. Where he's wrapping himself with a shower curtain.
like he would like lay out the blanket, I'm sure, like flat on the floor. He would take a shit.
Oh my god!
And like
wrap it up.
And then like wrap it up and then call housekeeping and they would dispose of the blanket.
That sucks. That would have been really fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
And that's why we didn't see, the scene where he's pissing in Fred Blasie's mouth. Okay, we got to get rid of that. Darn it.
Yeah.
I bet there was some great footage, but yeah, there's no way. And they succeeded because this is a positive documentary on the legacy of Andre the Giant.
And they said they got a lot of really good stuff from Stephanie, because he was like an uncle to her and they had like a relationship and there were all these like nice pictures to verify that they were like cool friends on the road and stuff.
And they didn't.
But they took it out because they thought that juxtaposed with the relationship with his actual daughter, how he was an absentee father, to see that he was like this good father figure to somebody else's daughter.
Yes.
And then he leaves his daughter in the lurch, until
he
dies.
Completely cut all of that. I don't think Stephanie McMahon was even featured.
She's not in it at all.
It was all Shane.
But they said they had a lot of good stuff from her, but then they're like, it kind of messes with that story.
Okay,
so
but now we've made this, now let's break away from WWE, but then you wouldn't be. He owns,
Yeah.
You couldn't do that documentary.
But they were just really getting into how difficult it is to make something like this because you have so much footage. You got all these interviews.
And
all you
want to do is tell your story.
They went to France and they sought out, like they didn't know where his brother was. They had to go find him. So
he looks like a man that was found. Nuts.
They had to like ask people at local bars and they're like, yeah, he comes here like every week. And then somebody finally gave him his address and they like plied him with a bottle of wine to do an interview.
Wow. That whole family is just that whole estate. It's just like, living in the mountains. They're literally, like, oh, he wasn't really from the French Alps. Like, kind of, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I picture his upbringing.
Just like the French countryside. Looks just like a Princess Bride,
That's the place where, like, next day Amazon is like, no. Okay.
Yeah.
2 to 3 business days, please. I don't care if you're Prime. It's not going to happen.
So you picked out of the urn last time. You
Yes,
want
I
me to
did.
pick it this time?
We took a break this week in honor of Andre the Giant, and now we are back
Next
to
time.
Ryan's urn, filled with the souls of feature films starring professional wrestlers, and he draws
out a film. Oh, I accidentally grabbed 2. I'll put one back.
Okay, you didn't peek, did you?
I did not.
Okay.
The Chaperone.
Oh, is that
Starring
Triple H?
Triple H.
Yeah, where's in front of like a bus?
Yeah.
Okay, I knew I was gonna see that before I
Yeah,
died.
Eventually, we were going to have to
I've
watch
been
The
holding-
Chaperone.
It came out 2006, something like that. I've been
Yeah.
holding off until then. I knew damn well I was going to be end up watching this movie, so there you go. Good pick.
All right, so we'll see you next time for The Chaperone. I'm Ryan the Muffler brother. brother. How apropos. I'm Ryan the Muffler Bruckner saying, when you tore off my shirt, man, when you tore the cross, you tore the heart and soul out of all the little Hulksters, man, not just me.
And I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan saying, with all due respect, he's also suffering from anal bleeding.
What?